Hello, in the Good Company podcast. Anna Malus Kitzman here with weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, thought provocation, all with the goal for you and me to have more fulfilling, more aligned, more healthy, more healed, more juicy life. So today, let's talk about anger, shall we? That's what came up lately. I work through some major anger, which I'm going to share later, but that's what came up. Also, anger came up because I feel like we live in times that there is a lot of anger coming up. Like we are triggered constantly and we can get angry very easily because it's a shit show, chaos and division all around. So let's talk about anger because opposite to what we were taught since we were kids, anger is actually an amazing and a very potent emotion. And you know that I love to think about emotions, that they are not bad nor good. They are energy, emotions, and they become bad or good if we follow with appropriate good or bad action after, right? So feeling anger itself, again, despite what we were taught as kids, especially women, that anger is something that doesn't look good on us, that it's not something that we should be expressing. Angry woman, it's like, ugh, icky and inappropriate and not pleasant to look at and experience. Anger and men too. I think men experience anger more potently and they have more anger stored in their lineage. So it's also important, and nobody likes angry men, and angry men is also disapproved by our society. Mostly because the angry man usually he follows with the very angry and negative action. That's why. But either way, anger is not a bad emotion. It's again, as any other emotion we feel, energy in motion, it's a sign on the road that there is something. It can be a great sign, for example, that there is something you really deeply care about, right? Like when you get really angry about something, your body is telling you that it's something that is important to you and for you. So again, this can be a very directional emotion, right? Like if we are really getting angry about something, maybe it's something that we should put our energy to, our resources, help, get involved, right? Obviously, anger is an amazing emotion that shows us where we need a little bit more work done, a little more healing, a little bit more looking into it and see what is behind that anger. Which basically that's what happened to me, right? I did feel I have a lot of anger, and I was, I really didn't know what this anger was about. And I simply asked, I was like, okay, sometimes I feel so much anger in my body and I don't know what it is about. I don't think so it's about my mother anymore. I worked through it. I don't think so it's about my brother anymore. I worked through it. I don't think so it's about anybody else. I was like, what is this anger about? And one day I was, for the longest time, if you know, I was the only person who was able to do laundry in our house because that's how my dad passed away, electrocuted by laundry machine. So I was the only one doing it in our house. I didn't allow anybody to touch it. And then Sena came downstairs with me one day and she touched it, like opened the door and was just standing too close to the machine, and I lost it. I literally lost it. I just screamed at her. I was like, get out, don't touch it. And just like felt so much like anger and like, like probably I had like PTSD myself a little bit. But obviously I calmed down and all this emotion, all this energy came through. And I was like, oh my God, I felt so much anger. And that night I went to bed. And I'm telling you the story because this is what happened when you ask, right? When you can locate your emotion, you can't understand what they're about. When you ask, you're going to get an answer. And I went to bed and I was dreaming about my friend and her dad taking her to Disneyland. And I woke up, and I think her kids too. And I woke up so upset and so angry. And like literally at 3 a.m., it hit me that all this anger I couldn't locate was anger at my father. You know, because he died in such a tragic accident, you never, and I think anger is part of grief, but I never wanted to feel angry at him, because like, how can you feel angry at somebody who left and who died accidentally in such a tragic way, right? And it was my dad that I loved, but and I never allowed myself to go through it, but I was so angry at him that he left me, that he did not stay with me and as promised, did not do vacation with my kids and spoil them and tell them the stories and play with them, and did not protect me as he always promised from certain people and situations, and just left me, you know. And I did never, because it was just such a convoluted, prolonged, delayed grief process, I never got to this moment of feeling angry and allowing this anger through. So I did. So next few days I really did, I did some boxing, and I was just thinking about it. I'm so freaking mad at you that all these promises, all these things we planned, you left me here, and you left, and you never, even can't play with my kids, and just like you promised, and we don't vacation together. And I was like, I wrote him a letter when I truly like spill it out. And that's a great, also one of the processes, how to work through your anger. Like, write the letter to that person, that situation, this thing that is really making you angry, to kind of channel this initial anger. So I wrote this letter. I think I screamed in the pillow once and just was like, just let it out. And it passed. And I felt such a relief, and such a, like, this gigantic weight of my shoulder was taken down, because I really did not connected and understood where is this anger that I felt in me was coming from. So this is just so important to feel that anger. And again, like with every emotion, we talked about it, my little process of feeling it is, first of all, acknowledge it. I am so angry at you, at this situation, and this. I'm so angry, allowing it, not judging it. I can't be angry. This is not okay to be angry. No, I am freaking angry. I'm really, really, really angry. Lately, I like to make weird noises really quickly just to release that. And I'm just like, through your teeth. You can go boxing, you can go for a run. This initial, because again, this energy of anger is very potent. So this initial release is really important, right? Like, we don't want to hit anybody, but we can hit a pillow, we can scream in the pillow. We can have, a little shaking moment of the body to like shake it off. Acknowledge it in your body. Where do you feel it? Is it like chest and belly area, or is it just like a wave that is taking your body over? So important. That's one of the processes of what I use to feel any emotion. But acknowledge it and name it in your body, and then release it. In any kind of healthy way. Is it, again, through going to exercise, through journaling about that, and let these words out, let this energy out, and be heard, be seen, be out there, right? Is it making a little voice note and just recording all this stuff? Lately I had a situation that I was so angry with somebody, and I was like, oh my God, I took a voice note, I recorded all I wanted to say. And then this person was following up, and I was like, I don't even have this energy. I don't want to waste it on you. I will use it somewhere else. That's another point. But I was like, I don't want to waste like my time to respond and explain something that you will never understand, right? Because this is not the first time we are having this conversation. So I know it will be pointless. So again, releasing it. Is it after this initial release, after you write, like again, sitting in meditation or in a just walk, go for a walk and just think about it, like in a calm way, like where is this anger coming from? What does it mean for me? What is it showing me? What direction is it showing me that I need to maybe go and put some attention in, or heal or grow, right? And allowing this anger to be and go through it. I think it's so important because I always knew, and for the longest time, I think that at Unstore Emotions, and read about it. There's this amazing book, Body Keeps the Score, that unexpressed and suppressed emotions can and are often linked to and manifest themselves later as a disease in the body, as an actual pain in the body. Like when I remember when I was in corporate world, I have so much stress, I have so much anxiety, and it was like all stored in like one shoulder, then the other. Like when I stopped working my corporate job, like literally within the week, zero pain. That was there for 2 years. Like what the actual F, right? So, and then the research shows that it can actually prolong anger, and unexpressed anger can transition into depression, into unhealthy life choices, obviously, into heart disease, into pain in the body, as I mentioned. So important to work with it. And then after you have this initial release of anger, work with it, understand it, sometimes I like tap into anger that I have and like get energy from it, because again, energy of anger is so potent that even if we work through it and release, we can actually use it and transmute it in a positive action, right? If we are tired or want to do something or want to take an action, like we can, oh my god, I'm so angry about, I don't know, state of our climate and how dirty and polluted our earth is, that I want to take an action, whatever this action is. So we can kind of tap into this more digested energy that allow us to take more positive and more aligned and more constructive action, if that makes sense. What else we have about anger? Do you feel anger? How do you work with anger? Always open to learning more from you. We talked about transmuting, we talked obviously yoga, mindfulness, journaling. We talked about this, about that. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's just reframe it. Anger is not about emotion. Anger is not negative emotion. Another energy and emotion that can be a very potent, very meaningful, very informative, very helpful if we can work with that. And when we see angry people, I had the situation that this guy, it was a while ago, I think I talked about it once, that this guy was like, I did a mistake driving a car and like cut him off or whatever, and he just opened the window in this truck and it was just like went on me. And I was just sitting there and I was just like receiving it, but not like I put like my barrier on, and I was just like sitting there and like, you know how they like to say, holding space for him, because I saw, it was just such a small thing. It wasn't like dangerous cut off or whatever, but all this anger in this dude like wasn't even mine about this situation, about this cut off, about this minute. It was just something freaking else that was building. So I was like, you know what? Yes. Yeah, I was like just sitting there. I was like, yes, you're right. Yes, I cut you off. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I simply didn't see you. Yes. And I was just like, just let it out. Just go for it. Like I'm not receiving it, but just like I feel like you need this freaking. He was just so freaking angry. So when we see angry people, obviously if they are not dangerous, like let their anger go through. And especially I feel like angry women, like we have to learn to understand that angry woman is not is not something that is inappropriate. It's not something, obviously, as long as she's not dangerous, but she is very, very powerful. Like, I think there's a saying, like, the angry woman is a very, very powerful woman, because there's a lot of this energy to be used and to be transmuted and transferred into something else. So, as usual, become a BFF with your anger. Work with it, observe it, ask questions about it. Don't suppress it. Don't feel shame about it. Don't feel like you are less of, or you are emotionally unintelligent because you feel anger. You are a genius, complicated machine, and me too. And we need to kind of learn to operate this system better, because suppressing anger and just simply calling it that is a negative and not good emotion is not working. It's literally not working for us. Definitely did not for me. And this story about my father and this anger that I felt, I'm telling you, the relief I felt in my body, the lightness I felt, was just incredible after working through that anger that I did not allow myself to fully feel for so many years. Yes, I wanted to add something else, but I don't think so I will. Anyway, I'll just keep it for myself, this little information. It's not that it was like helpful to you. Don't, no. I would say that if it was helpful to you. Yeah, that's it for today. A little ad on the end, that I always did I made an full episode about charity and how important energy of charity and karma of charitable work and helping other is. If I didn't, I have to look. I will. But today, our sponsor, who is not a sponsor, is One Tree Planted. If you know me, I love trees. I'm looking at one right now, and it's so gorgeous. It literally every day make me smile when I wake up, because our tree here in front of the house is so gorgeous. And One Tree Planted is an organization through which you just need $1. And you can plant a tree anywhere in the world. They are very legit. I worked with them for several years. My little company that I used to have, Good Goods, I planted like almost 300 trees through them. Just go to onetreeplanted.org and plant a tree somewhere in the world. Get yourself good karma. Get all of us more oxygen. And we are all winners. That's it for today. Until the next time, love and light, and slightly tiny bit of anger.